What's going on? We're xclub, Australian DJs based in London. We're here in Portugal for Neopop Festival. Excited. Let's
We're
go.
Hyped. Let's do it.
Neopop Festival, deuxième jour de verrouille pour la famille Rinse et on vient juste de retrouver deux DJ, un duo que l'on adore, que l'on aime très très fort, j'ai nommé xclub. How are you doing, guys?
Good. Yeah, super
Hello.
good, actually.
So this is the first time you come here?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's our first time here.
Yeah, first Neopop Festival too, I guess.
Yeah, first time.
Neopop.
Just
yeah,
crazy.
we're really excited.
Have you heard about this one before, or is it the first time?
No, we've known this festival for a while, but just this is the first time that we're doing it, which is cool. It's been on our radar for a while.
Yeah, it's definitely been one that we've wanted to come and hit. We're
Totally.
really excited.
What have you heard about this festival, if you have heard something?
I feel like for Portugal, this festival is such a big one for dance music and good dance music. So I feel like for Portugal, it's one of those places you want to play. It's got a good reputation, which is why we wanted to play.
Have you ever played in Portugal before, like in Lisbon or I don't know?
We did a techno festival in Lisbon,
Yeah.
and then we played a club show at Plongez in Porto.
In Porto, which is really good.
Do you have maybe an opinion, small opinion on Portuguese scene, Portuguese nightlife? Have you heard a lot about it?
Honestly, not too much, and we've only done two shows here really now, and
Yeah, and each time we've been very in and out, so we've like not really gotten to experience the culture, but it's definitely been fun both times. Feel very open, like they're not looking for one specific thing.
I think tonight will be one of the bigger ones we've done. So I think tonight
Yeah.
will be like a good, proper introduction to
A good judgment.
a good judgment to
Yeah.
Portuguese nightlife, but also dance music, which is going to be really sick.
What have you been doing this summer? Like, I guess a lot of touring.
Yeah, it's been pretty intense. We've done a lot of touring across America, Australia, across Europe, UK, and just been writing music during the week in the studio, which has been really nice.
Yeah.
But it's been a busy time. This time of year is always busy for all the DJs.
And is it the best period in the year?
In terms of touring and playing shows, yeah. The sun's out, summer is good. I think it's the most exciting time. There's so many fun parties.
No matter how busy you are, I think crowds are always the best because everyone's kind of
Yeah.
they're in spirit. You go to all these festivals, everyone's really up for it at this time of year, so it's the best time to play.
And the sun doesn't come out too often in some places, so when it does come out, everyone's
You see people appreciate it.
Everyone's
Yeah.
hyped. Yeah.
Here we are lucky because we had
Yeah,
some
but-
years like a lot of rain and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So we
yeah.
are really, really lucky. So you guys are playing in a few hours. Are you getting any kind of preparation before that, or is it only talent?
Oh, preparation. We both went to the gym before to get the blood
Yeah,
pumping.
this one?
So,
The
yeah,
gym?
that one there.
Yeah,
We were
really.
actually just in the gym.
If we
Yeah,
arrived right
so-
before, we could have seen you
Yeah,
here.
we would have been in there.
That's probably the all the preparation we do.
Yeah.
Probably eat some food now and then
Yeah, good dinner.
probably chill. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't play till like
3:45.
4 in the morning.
Oh
so
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
go
We
through
have plenty
some-
of time.
Maybe go through some
Yeah.
demos or through some new music to double check there's something we want to play tonight. But
Uh-huh.
other than that, just have a drink, maybe have some food, hang out. Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be nice.
Okay, so you're not like preparing the set, like really, like track one is that one, and
I
track two
mean,
will be-
in a way, we kind of have an idea of what we do, but we always get sent new music or like we have new demos that we kind of play out that are brand new.
We never really curate it to the point of track for track, but we definitely have an idea of the music that we want to play, a lot of unreleased music and a lot of new stuff.
This is all
So-
about talent and connection.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now it's been years you've been making us dance like all around Europe, all around the world, but we really want to know how did it all started for you?
We met at this club called TBC Club. We were both playing kind of different stuff at the time, but one day we played this show and we did it back to back, and we were just like, oh, let's do something from this. And that would have been about 8 years ago or something, maybe 7 years ago.
From there, we just started throwing warehouse parties and stuff. Our kind of taste turned to techno a lot more. We started curating parties and meeting artists as we brought them to Brisbane for shows and started putting out music for ourselves from that point. But yeah, it all came from like stuff just going on in our home city.
So I guess the very first back-to-back was maybe amazing, a good memory.
Yeah, a good memory. It was a long time ago, but it was the start of the project, and then we kind of did a lot of parties. We threw a lot of big warehouse parties across Brisbane, which kind of birthed the rest of the music and I guess the inspiration for the music.
Was it already under the name xclub, or it was just back-to-back, like random back-to-back?
I think we actually went with the name xclub from the get-go. We had this back-to-back coming up and we were like, all right, we need a name, and we just made something that was really generic and didn't mean anything, and that's why
okay.
xclub is just like xclub. But I think it works because it never meant anything at the time, so it's kind of timeless.
Then you decided to go to London?
It's been about 2 years now, pretty
Oh,
much.
only? I thought
Yeah.
it was more.
No, 2 years pretty much.
Yeah.
We kind of always plan to move to London. It was always the next step for us in terms of our careers. And we moved to London because it's kind of the easiest spot to get to. Ben has a passport, and the music scene there is also incredible.
Maybe also because of your influences.
Totally. A lot of the music that we were looking at and being inspired by was coming out of London, and it was the logical step for us. We were planning to move actually for a year or two before we did, just because we knew one day we were going to need to leave Australia. It's so far away from all the music that we are listening to and being inspired by.
Sure.
So that move over to the UK and Europe was a big thing for us to finally feel like we were fitting into everything that was happening.
Into the music.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you have to really put yourself in spaces like that sometimes around creatives and artists and different influences to really live it, I guess.
I was wondering if it was for that reason, because really Australia is, like alone in this world.
Yeah, it
like
is.
Some really cool stuff happens in music, but you're alone.
Because it's so far away, it also produces a lot of really unique music. There's a lot of amazing stuff coming out of Australia.
Even though we have the internet and stuff, everything you see, everything online.
We have the internet.
As in, like, everything is online. We have influences, but I feel like you really have to be in a place to experience it properly.
So how did you discover that kind of music? Thanks to the internet, I guess. Because
because of the internet and like all the culture online, but also we both went on trips to Europe as tourists because it's a very common thing to do. And then when we came back, we were like, whoa,
this famous Euro trip.
It's kind of one of those like typical stories. An Australian goes traveling to Europe and they go to some clubs and they're like, whoa, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. But it kind of was like that.
It was right after we both got back from our Europe trips that we started xclub.
We weren't partying and we were influenced by that and came back and we were like, okay, we can use this style, this influence that we've heard into our own production.
Yeah.
So Berlin was the place that made you think like, wow, or maybe not Paris?
You just don't get to...
Not Paris.
Not Rinse?
Not Rinse. Rinse too, though.
The experiences you get in the whole of Europe in clubs, you don't get in Australia. Like, it just like opened our minds to the sort of music and the spaces that are available out there.
Do you have a favorite club or favorite place to party in Europe or in Australia?
Amsterdam has been really, really fun lately. Over the recent times, we've radio in Amsterdam. But in Australia, it's hard because we've done so many different places. But I think recently we played at a really big warehouse called Carriage Works in Sydney, which is an old, it was like a train storage facility. And that was probably one of the funnest experiences I've had in Australia for a long time.
It's definitely one of the best. Yeah, that one is a big highlight for us, I think.
I personally discovered you with the amazing EP you released on Miley Cyrus label.
She's one of our
Thank
really
you so much
close
for this
friends.
One. How did you meet her? How did you came to this EP?
Through just friends in the music scene across like Steel City Dance Sticks and stuff, and Champagne, which is a really good friend of ours, a really good Irish friend. They were really good friends, and then we got connected and we just started sharing music, and now is one of our closest friends. And she's always been a big influence in terms of like, the art side and like that kind of side of things. We just connected.
So this was after you launched your own label?
Just before.
Okay, just before.
Yeah, just before.
Okay, so why have you came to this label?
It was something that we wanted to do for a long time, and I think we just wanted to wait for the right time. Wait till we had enough music out and had built ourselves to the right level, but it's something that we wanted to do and a plan to do for a long time.
Totally. And it was always an idea of ours to have our own label, just somewhere where we could release our own music and put out things that we love. Everything that we want in a label we can just do in terms of the artwork, the music, the timeline. It's just a lot of freedom having our own label, which is good. We obviously still use other labels to release stuff, but Hide the Junk is good for us to just do our thing.
And what junk shall we hide?
I don't know.
It could be anything, really.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor, maybe. I don't know.
We wanted it to be linked to one of our song names so that people would know to associate it. And we had put a song out called Hide the Junk a while ago, and we just liked that phrase.
And your latest EP was released on that label. The word expression? What kind of expression?
That song especially is kind of summer energy, I guess, and maybe in that way it's kind of new world expression, just being able to express yourself, but it wasn't anything in particular that we were leaning towards.
Just fits the vibe, I think.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you have new things coming up?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We're just figuring out what's next at the moment, but we have just had a good few weeks of writing lots and lots of new music, which has been nice. We haven't done that in a while. So just gathering music and then figuring out what's going to come out next. But there's lots,
Lots, but I'm not going to give too many hints.
Do you have a little word to conclude for Rinse listeners?
Thanks for all the support. Appreciate it.
I feel like we've been working with Rinse and Rinse FM for a long time, so thank you.
Yeah,
thank you,
guys.
world.
See you soon at the radio.
See you soon. Also see you soon, Neopop.